Ladies and gentlemen, aging is a gift, a privilege denied to many. But let's be honest, it's not always graceful. Behind the polite smiles and birthday wishes lies a reality that no one likes to talk about. There are some behaviors, habits, and attitudes that quietly creep in as we grow older. Things we don't often admit, even to ourselves. Today, we're going to face them. Not to shame anyone, but to shine a light on them. Because only when we recognize the ugly, can we begin to transform it into something powerful, wise, and inspiring. Here are 5 ugly things seniors do as they age that no one tells you, and how to rise above them. Before we begin, if you have not subscribed to my channel yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you never miss any video. Number 1. Holding on to bitterness instead of letting go. As we age, we gather not just memories, but also wounds. Some healed, some still raw. Life has a way of testing us in unexpected ways. We've faced betrayal, disappointment, and heartbreak. People we trusted may have let us down. Opportunities may have slipped through our fingers. Loved ones may have said things that pierced deeper than they realized. And often, without even knowing it, we carry those painful moments with us like invisible baggage. The years go by, but the emotions remain, stored in our hearts like stones. Bitterness, resentment, regret. Bitterness is quiet. It doesn't always scream. Sometimes it hides behind sarcasm, behind silence, or behind those familiar phrases like, "I'm fine," or, "That's just the way it is." But deep down, bitterness is like rust. It eats away at us from the inside. It changes how we see the world. Instead of feeling peace, we become suspicious. Instead of trusting people, we build walls. And instead of embracing the present moment, we replay the past like a broken record. The truth is, many seniors don't even realize how much bitterness they are holding on until it begins to affect their relationships, their health, and their ability to enjoy life. The hard part is that bitterness often feels justified. After all, we were hurt. We were wronged. We didn't deserve what happened. And maybe that's true. But holding on to that pain doesn't protect us. It only prolongs the suffering. Bitterness doesn't punish those who hurt us. It punishes us. It closes our hearts and hardens our spirits. It makes us live in a place of emotional darkness even when light is trying to come in. Letting go of bitterness doesn't mean forgetting what happened. It doesn't mean pretending we weren't hurt or saying that everything was okay when it wasn't. Letting go means choosing peace over pain. It means refusing to let the past steal our present. It means releasing the grip that anger and regret have on our hearts so we can finally breathe again. Forgiveness is one of the most powerful acts of freedom. And it's not something we do for others. It's something we do for ourselves. Forgiving someone doesn't mean they were right. It simply means you are choosing to stop carrying the weight of their actions. You are choosing to take your power back. And sometimes, the person you most need to forgive it is yourself. So many seniors carry guilt about mistakes they made, things they didn't say, dreams they didn't chase. But guilt is just another form of bitterness turned inward. And you deserve better than that. You deserve healing. It's never too late to let go. You could be 70, 80, or 90. It's still possible to drop the weight and feel the relief. Sometimes it starts with a simple conversation, a written letter, a moment of quiet reflection. Sometimes it's just waking up one morning and saying, "Today, I choose peace." Bitterness is not part of your identity. It's not who you are. It's just something you've carried. And now, you can choose to set it down. The beauty of life is that we always have the power to begin again. No matter how many years have passed, no matter how deep the scars, healing is possible. Letting go of bitterness opens the door to joy, connection, and freedom. And that freedom, that lightness of spirit, is one of the greatest gifts you can give yourself in your later years. You still have time to love, to laugh, and to live fully. But first, you must release what no longer serves you. Let it go. Not for them. Number 2, refusing to ask for help. As we grow older, many of us begin to cling tightly to our independence. We've spent a lifetime making decisions, supporting others, and standing on our own 2 feet. So when the time comes that we need help, whether physically, emotionally, or even financially, it can feel like we're losing a part of ourselves. For seniors especially, asking for help can feel like admitting weakness, and that thought can be deeply uncomfortable. But in truth, refusing to ask for help doesn't make us stronger. It isolates us, wears us down, and silently builds walls between us and the people who care about us. The refusal to ask for help often comes from pride, a deeply rooted belief that we must always be self-sufficient. It may come from a fear of becoming a burden to loved ones. There's also the fear of appearing vulnerable, especially if we spent our earlier years being the rock for others. But holding on to this belief too tightly can become harmful. It can lead to struggling in silence, and missing doctor appointments, mishandling medications, falling into depression, or simply suffering through loneliness. There is no shame in needing help. In fact, it's a normal part of being human, and it becomes even more necessary with age. What many seniors forget is that asking for help does not take away your dignity. It actually opens doors to connection. It allows us to feel useful, to support and serve the people they love. Think about it. How many times have you helped someone in your life? Did you ever see them as weak? Probably not. You saw them as someone worthy of your time and care. Now that the roles have reversed, the same principle applies. People who love you want to help. And when you let them in, you're not showing weakness. You're showing trust. Another quiet cost of refusing help is emotional disconnection. When we pretend to be fine all the time, people begin to believe us. They stop checking in, assuming we've got it all figured out. This leads to isolation, which is one of the greatest threats to health in old age. Loneliness can lead to anxiety, depression, and even worsen physical illness. All of this can be softened by simply reaching out, saying, "Can we talk?" Or, "I could use a hand." It doesn't always have to be something dramatic. Sometimes just asking someone to walk with you, drive you to a store, or listen for a few minutes can make a world of difference. There is also an emotional healing that comes when you allow others to be there for you. You realize you're not alone. You begin to feel seen, valued, and supported. This can be especially powerful if you've lost a spouse, live far from family, or have gone through recent health changes. Accepting help is not just about meeting physical needs. It's about restoring a sense of connection and belonging that we all crave, no matter our age. And let's be honest, there's courage in asking for help. It takes bravery to say, "I can't do this alone." That kind of honesty is powerful. It inspires others, it brings people closer, and it opens a path toward healing. Sometimes, the very act of asking is what brings relationships back to life. It's a reminder that we need each other. And that's not weakness. That's wisdom. So if you've been silently struggling, thinking you have to do everything on your own, take a breath. Reach out. Whether it's to a family member, a friend, a neighbor, or a professional, asking for help is not giving up. It's stepping forward. It's choosing connection over isolation and healing over silence. You've spent your whole life being strong. Now, let someone be strong for you. Number 3, judging the younger generation. As people grow older, it's natural to reflect on the past and compare it with the present. Many seniors look back on their youth and see a time that felt more disciplined, respectful, and grounded. The world today can seem unfamiliar, even chaotic. Technology has transformed communication, values have shifted, and traditions have evolved. In this environment, it becomes easy to fall into a pattern of judging the younger generation. Seniors may feel that young people lack work ethic, that they're too focused on their phones, or that they don't understand the meaning of commitment or responsibility. But this judgment, while often unspoken, and can create distance, a gap between generations that leaves both sides feeling misunderstood and disconnected. When we judge the younger generation, it often comes from a place of fear or loss. It may feel like the world we once knew is slipping away, that the things we valued are no longer honored. There's a sense of grief in that. But judgment doesn't preserve what we love. It only builds walls. It makes conversations tense, relationships strained, and it deprives both generations of the chance to learn from each other. Seniors have decades of experience, wisdom gained through trials and triumphs. But that wisdom can't be shared if it's buried beneath criticism or complaints. Younger people may shut down, tune out, or avoid interactions altogether when they feel constantly judged. It's important to remember that every generation faces its own unique challenges. Today's youth are navigating a fast-paced, hyper-connected world that never stops. They are dealing with mental health issues at higher rates, economic uncertainty, climate anxiety, and social pressure amplified by social media. Many of them are trying to build a life in a world very different from the one seniors grew up in. Their tools may look different, their values may have shifted, but their hearts still seek the same things: purpose, connection, and meaning. Rather than judging them, what if we tried understanding them? What if we replaced criticism with curiosity? Instead of saying, back in my day, we worked harder, we could ask, tell me what your day looks like. What are you working toward? These kinds of questions open doors. They invite dialogue. They show respect, and respect is the bridge that connects generations. It allows seniors to become mentors, storytellers, and wise guides, not critics standing on the sidelines. Another truth is that younger people often look up to their elders more than they let on. They may not say it, but they crave guidance, reassurance, and wisdom. When seniors lead with kindness instead of judgment, those conversations can happen. Bonds can grow. And those moments of shared connection become meaningful for both sides. Imagine a grandparent teaching their grandchild how to fix something by hand, or a senior telling stories of resilience from times of war or struggle. These stories inspire, ground, and shape the values of the next generation. But they can't happen if judgment blocks the way. It's also important for seniors to remain open to learning from younger people. Just as you once had fresh ideas that your elders didn't understand, the younger generation has insights you might not expect. Their relationship with technology, their openness about mental health, their willingness to challenge injustice. All of these things offer something valuable. Respect is a two-way street. When you show young people that you're willing to learn from them too, you gain not just their attention, but their admiration. Judging the younger generation may feel easy, but it leads nowhere. Understanding them, listening to them, and sharing with them, that builds legacy. That creates a bond across time that benefits everyone. You have so much to give. Don't let judgment silence your voice. Let compassion, patience, and empathy guide your connection with those who will one day look back and say, I learned that from someone wiser than me. Number 4, giving up on learning and growth. As we age, it can become tempting to settle into routines and habits that feel safe and familiar. After all, we've spent decades learning, working, raising families, and building lives filled with responsibilities. Many seniors feel they've earned the right to finally relax and stop pushing themselves. While rest is important, there's a quiet danger in giving up on learning and personal growth. The belief that growth is only for the young is not only false, it's harmful. Learning is not something we outgrow, it's something that keeps us alive, curious, and connected to the world around us. The idea that older adults can't or shouldn't keep learning is a myth rooted in outdated thinking. In truth, the brain never stops being capable of change. It's called neuroplasticity, the ability of our minds to form new connections and adapt, no matter our age. Every time you learn a new skill, explore a new idea, this stage brings, or challenge your thinking, you're keeping your mind sharp and your spirit young. Yet far too often, seniors fall into the trap of believing that it's too late to try something new. They say things like, I'm too old for that, or I'll never understand how that works. These statements are not facts. They are decisions, and they often close the door on opportunities for joy and purpose. Giving up on learning doesn't just affect the mind. It affects the soul. It leads to boredom, isolation, and sometimes even depression. When you stop challenging yourself, life can begin to feel smaller, more repetitive, less vibrant. But when you commit to learning, even in small ways, you reignite a part of yourself that may have been quiet for years. That spark, that sense of curiosity and wonder, is still there. It just needs permission to come alive again. Learning and growth in later years doesn't have to mean formal education or difficult challenges. It can be something as simple as picking up a new hobby, reading books outside your comfort zone, taking an online class, or learning how to use a smartphone or computer. It could be learning a new recipe, exploring a different culture through documentaries, or even writing down your life story. These activities don't just fill time. They enrich it. They make every day feel meaningful and engaging. Growth also means emotional and personal development. It's never too late to work on patience, forgiveness, or kindness. It's never too late to reflect on your past, heal from old wounds, and become a more peaceful, open-hearted version of yourself. Some of the deepest growth happens not in classrooms, but in quiet moments of honesty with ourselves. Each day offers the chance to grow wiser, and more grateful, and more compassionate, not just for others, but for yourself. Many seniors underestimate the impact their own growth can have on the younger generation. When young people see their parents or grants embracing change, trying new things, or staying mentally active, they feel inspired. They begin to realize that life doesn't end at retirement. It transforms. Your willingness to keep learning becomes a powerful example that aging is not about decline, but about evolution. The truth is, as long as you're breathing, you are still becoming. You are still capable of becoming stronger, smarter, more fulfilled. There is no finish line when it comes to growth. Life will always have something to teach you, whether you're 20 or 90. The question is, are you willing to be a student of life until the end? Don't let age become an excuse to stop moving forward. Instead, let it be the reason you push yourself a little more. You've come so far. Why stop now? Growth is a choice. And every day you choose to grow, you prove that age is just a number, not a limitation. Number 5. Neglecting self-care and blaming it on age. As people grow older, it's common to begin experiencing changes in energy levels, physical strength, and appearance. These changes are a natural part of the aging process. But too often, seniors start using age as an excuse to neglect their own well-being. They stop taking care of their bodies, minds, and emotions, not because they truly can't, but because they start believing they don't need to anymore. They say things like, "I'm too old for that." Or, "What this age, what does it matter?" This mindset slowly chips away at health, confidence, and happiness. Neglecting self-care and blaming it on age becomes a silent form of self-abandonment, and it robs people of the vibrant life they still deserve. The truth is, aging doesn't mean you should stop caring about how you feel or how you live. It doesn't mean giving up on looking your best, feeling energized, or being mentally sharp. In fact, self-care becomes even more important as you grow older. Your body needs more attention, not less. Your emotional health needs more nurturing, not neglect. Small daily habits like stretching, eating well, drinking enough water, and getting enough rest can make a powerful difference. But many seniors let these things slide, believing that decline is just inevitable and unavoidable. While aging does bring limitations, it doesn't have to mean surrender. A common area where self-care gets ignored is physical health. Seniors might stop exercising because they believe it's too late to get stronger or more flexible. They may stop walking regularly, stop stretching, or stop doing activities they once enjoyed. But movement is life. Gentle physical activity can reduce pain, improve balance, lift your mood, and even extend your life. You don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Even a short daily walk, light stretching, or simple chair exercises can bring tremendous benefits. Every step you take to care for your body sends a message saying, "I still matter." Another area of neglect is emotional and mental well-being. Many seniors begin to isolate themselves, stop engaging in hobbies, or ignore their emotional struggles. They might brush off anxiety or loneliness as normal at this age, and never seek support. But emotional health is just as important as physical health. Talking to friends, joining social groups, practicing gratitude, and even journaling or speaking with a counselor can help maintain mental clarity and emotional balance. There is no shame in needing support, and there's no age limit to feeling joy or connection. Self-care also includes appearance, hygiene, and how we present ourselves. Some seniors stop dressing well, grooming themselves, or taking pride in how they look. They say, "Who am I trying to impress?" But this isn't about impressing anyone. It's about self-respect. Looking good helps you feel good. Putting effort in your appearance is a form of self-love. It reminds you, and the world, that you still care about yourself, that you're still alive and engaged with life. Blaming everything on age becomes an easy excuse to avoid change, but it also becomes a cage. When we say, "I'm too old," we close doors that might still be wide open. We tell ourselves a story that limits what's possible. But the truth is, you still have the power to choose how you live. Every day is a fresh chance to treat your body kindly, feed your mind with something new, and nourish your soul with connection and care. You don't have to do it perfectly. You just have to begin. One healthy meal, one short walk, one phone call to a friend, one moment where you choose to treat yourself with the love and dignity you deserve. Aging is not the end. It's a continuation of your journey. And how you care for yourself now determines how deeply and joyfully you live in the years to come. You still matter. Your health still matters. And your happiness is worth the effort. Yes, there are some difficult truths about aging that don't often get talked about. But they're not the end of the story. In fact, they're the beginning of a new chapter. One written with courage, self-awareness, and resilience. You are not done. You are not irrelevant. And you are certainly not broken. And you are a masterpiece in progress. And every day you still have the power to choose how your story is told. God bless you.